I still remember that morning as if it were etched into my bones. The sun had barely risen, but the house was already alive with the kind of chaos that comes with wedding days. Bouquets being arranged, curling irons sizzling, bridesmaids gossiping in hushed tones, the smell of roses and fresh perfume filled every corner, and yet I couldn't breathe. My chest felt tight, heavy, like the weight of years of unseen hurt pressing down on me. I had dreamed of this day since I was a little girl, imagining myself in a white dress, walking down the aisle with a sense of pride, beauty, and belonging. But today, that dream felt like a cruel joke. My sister, Vanessa, the golden child of our family, the one everyone adored, was standing across the room. Her face was flawless, her makeup perfect, her eyes sharp and cold. I didn't expect her to be kind. She rarely was. But the words she said next sliced through me like a knife. "You can't wear white," she snapped, her voice echoing across the room, sharp as broken glass. "You're not worthy." Time froze. I could feel the heat of the room, the sudden hush among the bridesmaids, the collective intake of breath from the wedding planner, and the faint rustle of my mother's gown as she turned away, uncomfortable. I nodded, silently. Because arguing wouldn't matter. Not today, not when my own sister, my blood, my family, had spent a lifetime deciding I was lesser. A shadow, a mistake, the one who couldn't compete, couldn't belong. She had spent years living in the spotlight of every achievement, every compliment, every word of praise from our parents, while I quietly faded into the background, quietly collecting scraps of affection where I could. I moved toward the corner of the room, where my white dress lay hidden under a coat. My hands trembled as I lifted it gently. It was more than a dress. It was a symbol of hope, of dreams that had survived years of subtle cruelty, of nights spent wishing someone would notice me, just once, for who I truly was. And yet, under Vanessa's furious glare, I realized dreams didn't matter here. Not today. I could feel the eyes of the bridesmaids on me, full of sympathy, but it only made the pit in my stomach grow deeper. Their pity was not comfort. It was a reminder that I was out of place. "Go change," Vanessa hissed. "Now, or you'll ruin everything." I obeyed, turning slowly, silently, walking toward the guest room where I would hide. Each step felt like carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. The hallway seemed impossibly long. The walls pressed in. I could feel the memories of every slight, every humiliation, every whispered insult over the years pressing against me. When I reached the guest room, I closed the door behind me and sat on the edge of the bed, the dress folded carefully in my lap. I stared at my reflection in the mirror, pale and weary, my hair slightly disheveled from running my hands through it in tension. My mother's locket rested on my neck, a tiny silver charm she had given me years ago. I touched it lightly. Her handwriting was engraved forever in the delicate charm. It whispered courage. "You're stronger than you know," I breathed, almost like a prayer. I traced the edge of the dress with trembling fingers. It had been carefully sewn by a woman from our church, who had always believed in me, even when my own family didn't. The fabric was soft, almost ethereal, and it carried with it a memory of hope, resilience, and quiet rebellion. I knew that stepping into that dress, even if only for a moment, would feel like reclaiming a small part of myself. But I also knew that stepping back into that room meant confronting Vanessa again, and risking her wrath, her cruel words, her smug satisfaction at my discomfort. The clock ticked. Minutes felt like hours. And then, the door creaked. Vanessa's voice was cold. "Are you done hiding?" I rose slowly, lifting my chin, meeting her gaze with what little courage I could summon. The room felt smaller, tighter, every shadow a silent witness to the history between us. "I'm ready," I said, my voice steady, despite the tremor in my chest. She smirked, sharp and cruel. "Good. because nothing about you should ever make my wedding about you. Remember that." I nodded, and that's when I realized this wasn't just a wedding. It was the culmination of years of neglect, resentment, and judgment. But for the first time, I also realized something else. This day, Vanessa's perfect day, would not break me. It would be the start of my own reckoning. I slipped the dress on in the guest room, ignoring the tears that burned my eyes. As I looked in the mirror, I saw not just a girl who had been overlooked, but a woman who had survived every insult, every slight, every moment that tried to tell her she wasn't enough. And I smiled. Not the timid smile of the past, a quiet, knowing smile. Because little did Vanessa know, this day, this moment, was about to change everything. When I stepped out of the room, carrying the dress carefully, I paused at the doorway. The main hall was buzzing with preparations. Guests had begun arriving, music was being tuned, flowers were being arranged, and there, at the center of it all, was Vanessa. Radiant, untouchable, confident. I let her see me, fully, in the white dress. The look on her face froze me for a heartbeat. Disbelief, horror, something close to panic. "How?" she whispered. I didn't answer. I simply walked past her, calm and composed, my chin high. Every step was a statement, every breath, a rebellion, and then, just as I reached the grand mirror at the end of the hall, I caught a glimpse of something that made my blood run cold. A small, folded note had been slipped under the door of the guest room. It was from someone I never expected, someone who had always watched from the shadows, who knew every secret of our family, and who had been waiting for this exact moment. I unfolded it. "You are about to see the truth. Be ready. Everything will change before the day ends." My hands shook. My heart raced. I knew in that instant that this wedding, a day meant for celebration, was about to become the stage for revelations I could never have imagined. To be continued. If you want to hear what happened next, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications.